What is up, YouTube? Welcome back. It is Rahul. I am today going to do a Pokemon Unite video for all of you. A lot of you guys do not know how to play MOBAs or are new to the MOBA category, something that I'm very familiar with. I've been playing Dota 2 since high school, kind of have played League of Legends through college a little bit, and here we are with Pokemon Unite, something fun that brings us all together that's Pokemon related. So today I want to cover the most basic of the game. Lanes, what Pokemon should go kind of where, how do you kind of target the laning phase, the top lane, bottom lane, central lane. So something like that just to get you guys kind of accustomed to the game, learning how to play the game, and from there you can kind of learn different Pokemon and all that kind of stuff. So let's jump into what's going on here. So right here is Remoat Stadium, the 5v5 map that we are playing. I should probably turn on webcam, but I will do that in a second when we get into the gameplay. The main base, as you can see, is on both sides, the purple side and the orange side. You can kind of hang out there on those points. You spawn there at 5 minutes into the game. A jump pad will appear that can take you up to one of 2 points. I will kind of go into detail as well on this while I'm inside the game, but I will explain the lanes from this map perspective first. You have a goal zone that you can protect. You get movement speed through these path areas, and then there's also a legendary pit as well as a central area. So ideally you want to send 2 people into the top lane up here and 2 people into the bottom lane down here, and you kind of want to have one lane that's a little bit stronger and one lane that's a little bit weaker, just so they can farm, get prepared. Now, typically, you want to send your more scaling, your stage 2 Pokemon, like your Cinderace, your Greninja, something like that, into the top lane with the tank Pokemon, and into the bottom lane, you want to send like somewhat of a bruiser and a support to kind of get an advantage, because Dreadnought is going to be the most important thing. Now, as you can see at the top part of the map where there's this little pit and the beach area, at the top part, a Rotom will spawn at 7 minutes into the game, and at the beach area, a Dreadnought will spawn at 7 minutes of the game. Now, I know this map is a little bit confusing. Just learn the map. That's the best thing. It's your friend. In any given MOBA, the map doesn't usually change besides like once a year, twice a year, something like that. So learning the map is your biggest friend, so you can learn how to play Pokemon. Now, that being said, let's jump into me. Hi, how's it going? It's me. You guys get to see my beautiful face. So we're going to go into a Unite battle, or the practice tool a little bit, so I can show you guys, not this, so I can show you guys what the map kind of looks like throughout the 10 minutes, where you should be. Just kind of a little bit of an explanation of like what spawns at what time. Let's grab ourselves a nice little Speedster so we can get around the map really quickly. Yeah, you know, Zero Aura here seems like a pretty good guy. We're going to do a practice session. You can kind of do any practice session, any tool with any of the Pokemon that are available to you. So you can go in, try it out. You can also do a 5v bot battle as well. And I believe in those battles, you can have all of your guys. So you can get all 5 of your friends to kind of like practice a composition, practice some things. I played in my first Unite tournament this weekend and absolutely got destroyed. But there's a lot to be learned from solo queue versus ranked. So I'm going to teach you guys just the basics of the game here with me. So once you get learning on that kind of stuff, you can play the game. So now, the game starts with a 10-minute timer, right? At the beginning of the game, 2 A-bombs are going to spawn. You want your 2 laners who are going top to chase this top A-bomb, and the people who are going to the bottom lane to chase this bottom A-bomb. Now, when you follow the bottom A-bombs, you can attack them, take the knockouts you kind of want to, but important to note, you can hit these 2 A-bombs here one time, and they will walk over here to your buffs. You probably want to clear the top A-bomb, and if you're playing the bottom lane, you want to go over here and take out this Audino. Now, in the bottom lane, 1 Audino spawns in the middle, and 2 Audinos will spawn on either side. Now, these are your kind of safe farm. The middle one is going to be what gets contested. Now, that being said, what's the difference between that and the top lane? Let's run up there real quick so I can explain it. I took potion for some reason, so I'm slower. Now, the clock is ticking, so I can explain some of the other objectives as we go. The top lane also has their fair share of A-bombs. Hey, stop chasing me. And you have berries to kind of heal. But there's a Corphish you guys contest instead, which is less experience compared to the Audinos, but it's still a contestable target. So on the top lane, you want to send people that don't need it as much. At the 9-minute mark, a Corphish will spawn up here and in the bot lane as well in a respective location. So that is also some experience you should be farming. Now, what happens at the 8-minute 50-second mark in both the top and bottom lanes is Vespiquen Camp will spawn, and you guys can take this and contest this. This will almost certainly be a point of contest, and if you are the central laner or the jungler, it will be your responsibility to help one of the lanes get ahead and get this experience from the other side. Now, what is the jungle? I know I haven't explained that properly yet. If you watch my Zero Aura video or like how to play the game video, you'll understand. These Corphish also do spawn around this time mark. So if you are any of the laners, you can kind of go there and get some extra experience. But here we have the jungle. This thing is not meant to be here. But if you're a central laner, you're going to start the game by coming to this Lilliput. And And whichever way you attack the Lillipup, it will lead you towards the Ludicolo. Now the Ludicolo spawns, you take this buff, and what Ludicolo does for you is it gives you this blue buff. And what the blue buff does is that when wild Pokemon are below 50% HP, you get a free like extra damage onto them, which is really good, right? As a jungler, as someone who just wants to kind of clear the camps. As a jungler, you're going to clear the Lillipup, clear this guy up here, clear the Bouffalante, which gives you a red buff, which is slow onto your enemies, which means you can kind of like kite them, kind of chase people down, make a big difference into lane. Hello, what's going on here? Make a big difference into the lane. And you clear these, and then what you're going to end up doing is go over here, get this Corphish here, move to the top side, get that Corphish there. That should put you at level 5, which is higher than all of your elite, like laners. And before the 9-minute mark, you should be able to make an appearance in one of the 2 lanes to kind of make a difference and get that Vespiquen camp like we talked about. Now, as you can see, the timers on both sides of the map. There is a timer on the top side and on the bottom side. The top side timer is indicating that Rotom is about to spawn, and the bottom side timer is indicating that Dreadnought is about to spawn. Now, there's a lot of information to digest, I know. Dreadnought is going to be the more important objective, something you're going to learn throughout solo queuing. While Rotom is the more flashy thing, it's going to spawn. Rotom's going to spawn. It does give 20 points automatically on a goal and gives that instant score possibility. What's going to happen is you want to be able to get Dreadnought, because Dreadnought gives you a burst of experience across your entire team and shields. So regardless of what you're doing, you'll be able to fight really easily into anybody. So for example, see that we're going to take Dreadnought here and just watch my level. Right now I'm at level 6, at about halfway, a little over halfway to 7, and watch what happens when I take Dreadnought. I presume this practice partner is not going to come back and steal it from me. That would be really tragic if that happened. Oh my god, I'm low. So let me just not die here and make a fool out of myself. Okay, gotta... Uh-oh. Oh! Well, I died. But let's look at the practice partner. What happened to the practice partner in this video is that they got a bunch of levels and shields. So that is actually one of the unfortunate scenarios to happen. I should have been farming while talking during the video. But when that happens, the opposing team does get almost a full level, which is crazy, and shields. So in any situation, if you're playing any composition that requires, your Pokemon to get levels, every Pokemon needs levels because most Pokemon get their ultimate at like level 8 or level 9. Between 8 and 10, you get your upgraded skills at 8, maybe 9. For everybody, you get both your skills that you're looking for. So at that point in time, that you're basically online at that point. And that's what you're kind of looking to do. You're trying to get online as quick as possible. Look, I'm level 8 now. Had I gotten that Dreadnought, I probably would be here similarly or been farming correctly. But you get your upgraded skills. And that's what you should be doing. But in most professional scenarios or most competitive scenarios, I think you should be rotating as a team to kind of get these objectives. That's something that a lot of people don't do. If you send your 5 players down to the bottom lane, even if your tower takes a little bit of a hit, something takes a little bit of a dunk, you will be able to kind of capitalize on the fact that you get that bonus experience, that bonus shielding for your team, so you can fight immediately into it. Now, let's talk about what happens when you dunk on a tower. We'll wait till Rotom touches so we can see exactly what Rotom does. Now, dunking on a tower for a couple of points is not really relevant a lot of the time, but in the early game, if you do choose to dunk, whatever based on your points you score, you do get levels and experience. So experience is good, and you get points for your team. Now, each tower has the first layer of towers have 80 points. The second layer of towers, let me zip past these. There's also a slowing field that happens when you go between your enemy's towers, so be very careful when you're diving and making a play. The second layer of tower has 100, and the third has no barrier, so you know exactly where you are in the game, and at certain points in the game, it'll tell you, you are really far ahead, you are really far behind, yada yada. So keep an eye out for that moniker. And obviously that's the laning phase. So that's the first 6-7 minutes of the game or the first 8 minutes of the game is very cut and dry. You know your laning phase, you got to prepare. Obviously you want to send no 2 melee together. Usually you probably want to send 1 ranged Pokemon with 1 of the other Pokemon. Look, Eldegoss over here is ulting. My practice partner is really, really taking this seriously. My god, this is just practice, my guy. What level are these bots on? So I guess we'll just one-shot him. Goodbye. Also, when you do dunk on a tower, you get a heal. So watch what happens with my health. I get a healed, a little bit of a movement speed bonus. So if you are in a bad situation, you have 2 or 3 points on a tower, try to get the dunk. Try to get those points off. Now, this time we'll actually show how Dreadnought works. Hopefully, our good friend Eldegoss does not come back. That would be really unfortunate if we got 2 Dreadnoughts stolen. At that point, you could probably report me, go next game, honestly, because I'm probably griefing the game. But you get the Dreadnought here. And watch, look, I just jumped up almost a half level at level 11. So imagine what that could be at like level 7 or 8, which a lot of the time I'm the jungler or I'm the central laner. So I will be up on experience. So being the jungler, the central laner, you're up on experience already. So getting that dreadnought and making those pivotal plays to capitalize on those objectives is what you should be doing as the central laner. You should be giving your lanes an advantage to kind of get the ball rolling, get themselves into play, kind of give yourself a level lead. In games like this, chasing kills, chasing towers is kind of moot. You should not be doing something like this recklessly because there's nothing to be gained besides a little bit of experience. But dying and getting off the map is a lot more damaging because, well, you should be farming all the little yellow pips on your map. If you look at my mini map up in the top left, you can see all those little yellow pips. At the 5-minute mark, this little jump pad comes. You have 6 places to jump to. You can jump to your tier 2 towers or your outer towers pretty easily here. If you jump onto somebody while they're trying to score a point, you can stop them. So it's a little bit of a quick way to get back. So if you're low at any given point during the game, after the 5-minute mark, there's no reason to kind of walk back or like stay in lane with low HP. You can simply just use the down button on your Joy-Con or Pro Controller, head back to the base, and all of a sudden you're good to go. You're healed up. You have that movement speed from the moving and the jump pad as well. At 2 minutes, the points become doubled. This is what everyone has kind of a problem with right now. At 2 minutes, that's when it's game time. This is where you can't mess up anymore. Even if you're up ahead by so many points, at 2 minutes, this guy over here, Zapdos, spawns. And when Zapdos spawns, he drops 30 and your entire team gets 20. Now, with Zapdos, dude, my practice partner really wants to win this game. I see. Zapdos, upon getting knocked out, gives you that instant dunk that Rotom also provides. So it's one of those like just get out of jail free cards. It's your comeback mechanic. Any team, I've been in games where I've been down almost 200, 300 points, and we've won the entire game off the back of one Zapdos, which I think is a little bit imbalanced. Don't get me wrong. I did put it in the survey, but I'll show you right now what happens. I don't know what time Eldegoss is coming back up. If Eldegoss comes and steals this, well, I'm going to lose the game. It's as simple as that. And also below 2 minutes, the points are doubled. So you want to be keeping a close eye on your own towers to make sure that nobody is taking points there. Look, now we get a movement speed. Your opponent's goals are defenseless. I'm going to run past this Eldegoss because I don't want to fight him. Now I can run straight to the top lane where this tower is still up. Towers still stay up. You cannot dunk on towers that are like that. And look, I get an instant dunk. I get to score 100 points instead of that 50. It did show 50, right, guys? You guys aren't blind. It does show 50, but upon dunking that one right there, it gives you an extra couple of points. You get the double points in this final hour. I walk back up. I get the instant score still up. There's 4. There's 8. I get some levels. We're going to farm up here. Now, we're in the final stretch. Now, I see the Eldegoss. If I'm a smart team player, I head back to the base. I'm going to take this jump pad. I'm going to get to my tier 2. It doesn't get me all the way there. You can see on my minimap exactly where I jumped to. And I can run over there quickly because I still have this pad. Now, while you also have the lanes, something important I missed to note is you get berries that spawn constantly. And these berries are really good for, if your opponents are diving, getting a little bit over aggressive. You can just go back into the berry situation, get your berries, and, well, at that point, you are just giving yourself a gigantic amount of HP that you're healing. So if your opponents are mispositioned, they went a little bit too far, then you can just punish them really strongly. And, well, you can win the game. And then the timer ticks down. There's only one Zapdos that spawns, unlike the Dreadnoughts and the Rotoms that spawn on a timer. I think every 2, maybe 3 minutes they come back up. Maybe 2.5, I don't really know. And then you get the final score. It shows exactly which goals you dunked on, how much you dunked. If you exceed the 80 points or the 100 points, it still counts the points. So don't worry if you have like 50 points and you're dunking on something that's like a 3 points left on the goal. You are still going to get that full 50. You were just abolishing the tower there. You're just taking it out. And that is how you play the laning phase. Now, when it comes to Pokemon specifically, I can kind of explain which Pokemon should kind of go where. No, I want to see all Pokemon. This is much easier. Yeah. So for all Pokemon, we have these supporter Pokemons. The supporter Pokemon are typically going to go to your bottom lane because these are a lot harder to kill. Your Mimes, your Wigglytuffs, your Eldegoss, they're really hard to knock out. So these support Pokemon are going to go to the bottom lane to support, somewhat of a bruiser, maybe your damage dealer. They could even go into the top lane. It doesn't matter. These guys do not belong in the central lane. These guys do not belong in the jungle. And they should be attached to someone who can do something. You want to be helping your team. We have these all-rounders that can go anywhere. Some of these all-rounders have been played in the central lane, but not typically. They're not your S-tier central laners. They're not someone you typically expect to see in the central lane. You can play them in the central lane, but a lot of the time, these all-rounders are kind of just placed into a lane. You're giving them a supporter champion, or a, attacker champion behind them, and all of a sudden, they do what they do best, just run up into the opponent's face and kind of wreak havoc, cause chaos. Then these are the attacking Pokemon. The attacking Pokemon typically want to go into a lane, but Some of the Pokemon like Cinderace and Greninja are typically also played in the center lane because they have a quick dash to get around the jungle. Their clear is very quick, so as you're getting stuff done, you need those levels with these stage 2 Pokemon. Getting to your evolutions, getting to your ultimates, getting to your skills is very, very crucial for a game. So for someone like Cinderace, someone like Greninja, who does a lot of damage throughout the game, you want to get them there as quickly as possible. So it's worth sacrificing some aspect of a better central laner to have someone who can come into those fights much quicker and do damage at a much earlier stage. Cinderace jungle or Cinderace central lane has become a very popular strategy in the top of the table. Granted, at the time I'm filming this, Wednesday's patch notes have been revealed, and a lot of things are changing. I will go over that probably for Thursday's video to kind of like figure out what's going on after I play myself on Wednesday, because they made the patch notes very vague. But this video is about the laning phase, so we're going to talk about that specifically. Then you have your defenders. Your defenders can go either in the top or the bottom lane, but these guys are pretty much like, we're going to sit on the point. We're going to make it so you can't score. You shouldn't be really getting aggressive with these guys. Like, you can, obviously, Crosslow can jump in there, do a lot of damage. Slowbro can be really offensive. Snorlax can do a lot of damage, but you don't want to be the guy who is just jumping in and overextending for your team. You are the frontal line. You are Hodor, basically, in this instant. You are holding the door. You are holding the wall. You are the first line of defense for your entire team. Your role is to be there and, make the most happen in any situation. And Speedsters. These guys all typically excel in the central lane because they can move around very quickly. They benefit greatly from levels, and their damage is assassin style. So you jump in, do a lot of damage all at one time, and then you jump right back out. These guys are going to be your bread and butter in the central lane. Almost certainly you won't be able to play any of them besides maybe Zeraora outside of the central lane. So I do think that these guys are going to be very, very beneficial to play in the central lane. I've typically found myself playing a lot of Zeraora, and Gengar is also being played a lot at the top of the table. I'm not a Gengar player myself. I've been playing a lot of Zeraora. That's my Pokemon of choice. It's a very good one to learn if you are starting the game. It is also free, so you guys can also enjoy it greatly. But that is a lot of information for you guys. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions about the laning phase, about Pokemon and their roles, where they're supposed to be going. I will start doing maybe patch note videos, maybe kind of who should go where. I am a Masters rank player, so that it cannot be understated. I was ranked 1,000th in the world, top 500 at one point. Those are my accolades, not to brag. I'm just very proud of the accomplishments I've done. You guys can all get there. This game is not that difficult. I will teach you all how to play MOBAs one step at a time, from a Pokemon player to another fan of the Pokemon trading card game or any Pokemon franchise. Welcome to Rahul's channel. If you're here for Pokemon Unite, stick around, enjoy the content, subscribe, like, hit that bell, everything. If you guys are here for Pokemon TCG content, well, I hope you're learning something about Unite. It's free. You can play it. Get some friends on. Don't take it too seriously. But until Thursday's video for Pokemon Unite, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're here for TCG, tomorrow we'll have another video up. And we'll figure out what we're doing then. I don't know what we're doing it on yet, but Unite will continue doing with Tuesday and Thursday videos. So thank you guys so much for watching. That'll be all from me for Rahul.